So today we are going to discuss about the next chapter from your syllabus, that is fats and oils. Learning objectives. After completing this chapter, learner should be able to understand fatty acid reactions, principle and significance of various analytical constants. Introduction. See, fatty acids are the carboxylic acids with the long aliphatic chain, which is either saturated or unsaturated. Most naturally occurring fatty acids have an unbranched chain of an even number of atoms starting from 4 to 28. Fatty acids are the building blocks of the fats in our body and in the food we eat. So during digestion, body breaks down fats into fatty acids which can be absorbed into the blood. Natural fats and oils are the triesters of glycerol with the long chain carboxylic acid starting from 12 to 20 carbons, and they are collectively known as a triglyceraldehyde. Sorry, triglyceride. These are the some common fatty acids: myristic acid, palmitic acid, stearic acid, oleic acid, and linoleic acid. Reactions of fatty acids. These are the some important reactions: hydrolysis, hydrogenation, and rancidification. So let's discuss it one by one. First reaction is hydrolysis. The alkaline hydrolysis of triglycerides gives glycerol and soap, and this process is also called as saponification. Alkaline hydrolysis of triglycerides gives you glycerol and soap, and this process is also called as saponification. Next important reaction is the hydrogenation. Hydrogenation is the process of hardening of vegetable oils of unsaturated fatty acids such as oleic acid and linoleic acid. Hydrogenation is the process of hardening of vegetable oils of unsaturated fatty acids. On catalytic hydrogenation at low pressure, hydrogen adds across the carbon-carbon double bond of the acid component of the triglyceraldehyde, sorry, of the triglycerides, and this results in the formation of saturated glycerides, which are the solid fats at room temperature. Partial hydrogenation of vegetable oils is used for the manufacturing of vegetable ghee, that is also called as dalda. Next, rancidification or rancidity of oil. See, rancidity is a term generally used to denote unpleasant odors and flavors in the food. Rancidity is the term which is used to denote unpleasant odors and flavors in food. Oxidation of fats, generally known as rancidity, and it is caused by the biochemical reactions between fats and oxygen. In this process, the long chain fatty acids are degraded and short chain compounds are formed. Long chain fatty acids are degraded and short chain compounds are formed. So one of the reaction product is the butyric acid, which causes the typical rancid taste. So consuming the rancid food products is unlikely to cause immediate illness or the harm, although rancidification can reduce the nutritional value of good by degradation of nutrients. Antioxidants are often used as a preservative in fat containing foods to delay the onset or slow down the development and rancidity due to the oxidation. natural antioxidants, it may include the ascorbic acid, that is vitamin C, and tocopherol, that is vitamin E. Synthetic antioxidants, which includes the BHA and BHT, that is butylated hydroxyanisole and butylated hydroxytoluene. So this rancidity is generally associated by two types of reactions, that is oxidation and the hydrolysis. It is associated with the two types of reactions, that is oxidation and hydrolysis. Oxidative rancidity and hydrolytic rancidity. Oxidative rancidity, it is associated with the degradation by oxygen in the air. The double bonds of an unsaturated fatty acid can undergo cleavage, releasing volatile aldehydes and ketones. Oxidation primarily occurs with unsaturated fat, and the process is suppressed by the addition of antioxidants. Thus, airtight packaging will slow the rancidity development. Hydrolytic rancidity, it refers to the odor that develops when triglycerides are hydrolyzed and free fatty acids are released. It involves the hydrolysis of one or more ester linkages in fats and oils to produce the original acid. Bacteria from the air furnish enzymes that promote this reaction. Antioxidants are added to many edible fats and oils produces to retard the rancidification. Next, principles and significance of various analytical constants. A number of chemical methods have been developed to provide the information about fats and oils. These techniques are much cruder than chromatographic techniques because they only give the information about the average properties of the lipid component present. Nevertheless, they are simple to perform and do not require expensive apparatus, and so they are widely used in industry and research. In general, oils and fats can be identified and evaluated for their quality and impurity, if any, by physical and chemical constants. The physical constants may include the refractive index, viscosity, specific gravity, etc. On the other hand, one can perform the chemical methods of analysis that may include the various analytical constants like acid value, saponification value, ester value, iodine value, acetyl value, and Ricard-Messel value, that is RM value. Acid value, see, acid value means, what is that? It is the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize the free fatty acid in 1 gram of the oil or fat. Acid value means it is the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize the free fatty acids in 1 gram of the oil or fat. As oil fats rancidify, triglycerides are converted into fatty acids and glycerol, causing an increase in the acid number. So high acid value would be expected in a rancid fat. The acid value indicates the extent of the rancidity. It is a relative measure of rancidity as free fatty acids are normally formed during decomposition of triglycerides. The value is also expressed as percent of free acids calculated as oleic acid, lauric acid, ricinoleic acid, and palmitic acid. What is the principle of this acid value? The acid value is determined by directly titrating the oil or a fat in an alcoholic medium against the standard potassium hydroxide or the sodium hydroxide. And the free fatty acid in oil is estimated by titrating against KOH in presence of phenolphthalein indicator. The acid number is defined as the milligram of the KOH required to neutralize the free fatty acids present in 1 gram of sample. However, the free fatty acid content is expressed as oleic acid equivalent. Next analytical constant is the saponification value, that is on hydrolysis. See, the saponification means on hydrolysis, triglycerol is converted to glycerol and the soap. So it is the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize the fatty acids resulting from the hydrolysis of 1 gram of given oil or of fat. It is the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize the fatty acids resulting from hydrolysis of 1 gram of given oil or of fat. And it is also a measure of the average molecular weight of all the fatty acids present. The long chain fatty acids found in fats have a low saponification value because they have a relatively fewer number of carboxylic functional groups per unit mass of fat as compared to short chain fatty acids. So, what is the principle behind this? Principle of saponification value. The fats, particularly triglycerides, the fats on alkaline hydrolysis may be in presence of a KOH or maybe in presence of NaOH. You can use any one of from them. So the fats on alkaline hydrolysis yields glycerol and potassium or sodium salt of fatty acid. That is your soap. So the amount of free fatty acid is estimated by determining the quantity of alkali that must be added to the fat to render it neutral. This is done by forming a known amount of the fat with strong aqueous caustic soda solution, which converts the free fatty acids into soap, and the loss is estimated by subtracting this amount from the amount of fat originally taken for the test. So what is the significance of this saponification value? This saponification value is the important to determine or important to the industrial user to know the amount of free fatty acid present. It also determines in oil, and it indicates the length of carbon chain of the acid present in particular oil or fat. Next, analytical constant is ester value. Very simple. It is the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to saponify the esters in 1 gram of the substance. Or in simple terms, the ester value is nothing but the difference between the saponification value and the acid value. Ester value is equal to the difference between sap value, that is saponification value, and acid value. Next, iodine value. Iodine value is generally defined as the number of grams of iodine that combine with 100 gram of oil or of fat, and it is a measure of the degree of unsaturation of fat or oil. The higher is the iodine number, means more carbon-carbon double bonds are present in the fat. For example, coconut oil is very saturated, which means it is a good for making soap. On the other hand, linseed oil is highly unsaturated, which makes it a drying oil well suited for making oil paint. So, what is the principle of this iodine value? The fatty acid reacts with iodine, resulting in the addition of the halogen at carbon-carbon double bond site. So in this reaction, iodine monochloride reacts with the unsaturated bonds to produce a dihalogenated single bond of which one carbon has bound an atom of iodine. So after the reaction is complete, the amount of iodine that has reacted is determined by adding a solution of potassium iodide to the reaction product. And this causes the remaining unreacted iodine chloride, monoiodine chloride, to form a molecular iodine. This liberated iodine is then titrated with standard solution of 0.1 normal sodium thiosulfate. So what is the significance of this? Iodine numbers are often used to determine the amount of unsaturation in the fat and oil. Acetyl value, it is defined as the number of milligrams of potassium hydroxide required to neutralize the acetic acid produced when 1 gram of fat or oil is acetylated with acetic anhydride. And it is a measure of the number of OH groups present in a fat or oil. The principle, the process consists of acetylating the oil with a measured quantity of acetic anhydride in pyridine, decomposing the excess anhydride by boiling with water, and then after the addition of sufficient butyl alcohol to give a homogeneous solution. Titrating with alkali. A controlled test with the acetic anhydride and pyridine without oil provides a measure of the acetic anhydride available for acetylation. In the last, Richard-Missel value, RM value. The Richard-Missel value is a measure of the volatile water-soluble acid constituent of the fat. It is developed by chemist Emil Richard and Emmerich Missel. It is equal to the number of milliliters of 0.1 normal potassium hydroxide solution, which is necessary to neutralize the volatile water-soluble fatty acid obtained by 5 gram of fat. So what is the principle behind this? In this method, milk fat is saponified using glycerol alkali solution diluted with water and acidified by sulfuric acid to liberate free fatty acids. Thereafter, the liberated fatty acids are steam distilled in glass apparatus under specified conditions, and the steam volatile fatty acids are collected. The cooled condensate of steam volatile fatty acid is filtered for separation of water solution and water insoluble fatty acids. The water soluble fatty acids which pass through the filter paper are estimated by titration with alkali to give RM value. The significance, it is an important index for quality of milk. This is a useful indicator of non-fat compounds in edible fat. RM value measures the volatile water-soluble acid constituent of the fat. This is the reference for this chapter, fats and oils. We can go through this. Thank you.